Oh, I'm just sitting in the van, just finished my workout, waiting for a customer in a dodgy lay-by again. So, if you see me in a dodgy lay-by, I'm waiting for a customer. Honestly. I just listened to the radio and there was a lady speaking on there who's been dieting. She's been dieting forever. She's sort of a bit of a big girl, plus size, whatever you want to call them nowadays. She's tried 20 odd different diets. None of them have worked, and she's going on about the pitfalls of dieting and everything. And being January, it's the season of dieting. So it kind of got me thinking. I love listening to the radio and things like that. It gives me ideas for content as well. So it got me thinking. The main reason that diets don't work is because people primarily that go on these sort of like faddy diets, and they are faddy diets, then they're the type of people that have eaten a lot of junk food. Let's face it, that's kind of what's happening. They've eaten a lot of junk food for years, and it's become a lifestyle, a lifestyle choice to go home and have whatever, for argument's sake, a pizza and oven chips or whatever, and they see that as like their mainstay, their evening meal, if you like, and that type of thing. Now, the reason that the diets will not work, and I've said this plenty of times before, but this is just like a recap, is that those type of people, they'll see these. Oh, I'm going to go on the juice diet. I'm just going to juice vegetables, and I'm going to have that for a month, and I'm going to do that with dry January as well. And then inevitably, what happens is these juice diets will make you lose a lot of weight. It won't all be fat. It will be water. It will be general sort of food in your intestinal tract, and it will be muscle as well. That you'll lose muscle mass. So you will lose weight. You will lose weight on them, but where they fall down is that they're not sustainable. It's not a sustainable way of living. You can't live on fucking juiced vegetables the rest of your life. So what happens is they'll try it for a month. Oh, I've lost a stone. A wonderful juice diet. And then they'll go back to their eating pizza and oven chips again, and then they'll put the weight back on again. And sometimes they'll put more weight on than they actually lost, so they'll end up even worse off in February, March. So that's kind of the reason that they don't work. Now, you've got to don't think of the word diet, because again, when you're thinking of the word diet, it's almost like you're denying yourself things, and the more you deny yourself things in your head, the more you kind of crave them. So after, the reason the juice diet will not work long term is because you can't live on juice, like I've just said, and you're going to get fucking cravings. You're going to get cravings for all the wrong things, the things that you've cut out, your oven chips, your pizzas, your chocolate, your cake, etc., etc. You're going to get big cravings for them, and then eventually when that bubble bursts and you think, oh, you know what, fuck it, I've had enough of this juice diet, that's when you're going to overcompensate eating all these junk foods that you've been craving for the last few weeks. And that's probably the main reason you will put on even more weight than you actually lost, like I've just mentioned a minute ago. So what's the more sensible approach? The more sensible approach is ditch the word diet and think, okay, January comes around, I'm not going to go on a diet this year, I'm going to go on a lifestyle change. Now, if you think to yourself, okay, yeah, I am a bit podgy around the middle. So how long have I been a bit podgy around the middle? Well, it's been creeping on a bit. If you look back when I was like in my 20s, I was really fit and healthy, like quite slim, blah 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 blah. And then now I'm in my 40s or even in my 30s, say, I seem to have put quite a lot of weight on. So you think, okay, so to put that amount of weight on, you're not, in your 20s you were fine, in your 30s you're fatter. So it took you over 10 years to put the weight on. So what makes you think that you can lose all that weight in 1 month, in your dry January month? You're not going to. It's took you 10 years to put that weight on, so it's going to take you quite a while to take it off again. Not a fucking month. This is a long-term project over not months but years. So what you need to do, you need to say to yourself, right, okay, sod the diet. I'm going to change my lifestyle, and I'm going to just have a healthy eating plan. And that's all, basically all you need to do. If you're not into sports nutrition, bodybuilding, weight training, or you don't go to the gym, etc., etc., then just make a conscious decision instead of having your. I mean, it's common sense. I mean, everyone's heard this time and time again, but it's just to try and hammer it home. Really, instead of having sugar puffs for your breakfast, have a bowl of porridge oats, maybe a bit of fruit or something, and then if you have pizza and chips, try and have a proper meal, as in, I don't know, meat and 2 veg. So you'll have a chicken, whatever, with some boiled veg and some rice or some potatoes. Just try and make the healthier choice. Everyone knows what the healthy choices are. If people, I don't know what healthy food is. Well, you do. You're just saying that because you can't be asked to change. But if you make a conscious decision to change, if I was to put a pizza on your kitchen table, and then some potatoes, some chicken, and some veg or whatever, and say to you, now which one do you think is the most healthy meal out of those two? Now I would hazard a guess that 10 out of 10 people will say the chicken is more healthy than the pizza. And those 10 people will be correct. So everybody knows the basics. It's just about implementing them changes, making a conscious decision. It's easy to fall into that trap of eating too much rubbish. I'm not saying don't eat any rubbish, but I'm just saying 90% of the time, Monday to Saturday, have one day a week you think, oh, you know what, fuck it. Sunday I'm just gonna, don't go mad, but don't deny yourself. If you want a takeaway, then have a takeaway, but just kind of restrict it to one day a week. Or if you have a takeaway 7 days a week, say, okay, for the first couple of months, instead of 7 days a week takeaway, I'm going to cut it down to 4 days a week, and then 3 days a week, then 2 days a week, then 1 day a week. Do like little changes, because remember, this is a long-term project, not a 1 month fix all. So just something to little think about whilst I was on, being inspired by what I just heard on the radio. And as I say, it is January, so every time I turn the daytime telly is the worst. Daytime telly is, this week they're on about dieting, all the so-and-so fucking celebrity shit diet, or they're on about Brexit, and it's like, fucking, I'm sick of it. I don't turn the news on anymore. It's getting depressing. But yeah, anyway, just want a little food for thought. I'll speak to you tomorrow.